Just this.
It'll be 4 count.
Got some backup. Oh, sorry.
Whenever you're ready, Mr. Rendon.
Good morning.
I move the bill.
Second.
I'll keep it short. Chairman and members, K-12 and community college classified school employees organize and bargain for their wages and working conditions in accordance with statutes and regulations under the Educational Employment Relations Act. Typically, classified bargaining units start their successor agreement negotiations 6 to 8 months prior to the contract expiration date. On occasion, school districts do not negotiate in good faith. They can start negotiations late by postponing or rescheduling meetings and dragging through the negotiation sessions. Districts can declare impasse using these techniques and move to impose their last, best, and final offer against the interests of the bargaining unit. Current impasse laws contain a loophole that allows districts to impose their last, best, and final offer language into bargaining unit contracts. The loophole is exploited by districts as a tactic designed to result in impasse. These tactics of surface bargaining and impasse declarations give an unfair advantage to employers. Even though the law allows the bargaining unit to reject the LBF offer and go on strike, going on strike is, of course, an extreme measure and an extreme hardship for most situations and employees. AB 1550 will give an added protection to school district and community college classified employees by eliminating the ability of the employer to add or remove new language in their last, best, and final offer that has not been fairly resolved in contract negotiations. I have witnesses from CSEA and asked me here to testify in support of the measure. I respectfully urge your aye vote.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. My name is Tristan Brown with the California School Employees Association. AB 1550 will bring sunshine to an unfortunate circumstance when public school employers and the classified employees reach an impasse in their collective bargaining negotiations. Current law almost incentivizes a rush to impasse for two reasons. First, a party may declare impasse and require the Public Employment Relations Board to recognize an impasse and appoint a mediator to facilitate a settlement, all within only 5 days. Secondly, if a mediation is ineffective, a fact-finding panel offers recommendations on settlements. However, those recommendations are non-binding, and employers are free to impose their last, best, and final offer and bring other working conditions outside of a collective bargaining agreement. Workers face a choice at that point to either continue to work under these conditions or engage in costly and prohibitive and detrimental strikes, detrimental not only to the employees, but especially to the children that rely on the public education services they provide. With their backs against the wall, workers are rushed into new school year with these new working conditions. Last, best, and final offers may contain various terms without certainty or clarity on what is to be implemented and when those terms are to be implemented. And 1550 will just require that these terms be brought with written notice with no less than 30 days knowledge of when they will be implemented. It is bringing sunshine on this rather unfortunate point in our labor negotiations, and I respectfully urge an aye vote.
Mr. Chair and members, Brian Allison on behalf of the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, I respectfully urge aye vote on this measure as well. It's the right thing to do to make sure that both parties can negotiate in good faith and we can have a fair negotiation when it comes to these employees.
Mr. Chair and members, Seth Bramble on behalf of the California Teachers Association. Of course, a contract is an agreement between at least two parties. And, you know, in the world of teaching, you may have an agreement on some general working conditions that will really help minimize the kinds of disputes and conflicts that you're going to have. Teachers, for example, are asked to do so many extra duties. I'm thinking about school site council, science camp, parent conferences, work at dance. You know, teachers could be potentially at school 24 hours a day. So we have some agreement about what those extra duties look like, giving the district the ability to unilaterally impose one of these conditions is an unfair practice and something that shouldn't be permitted, and it's not how contracts work. You've made an agreement, you're going to resolve disputes that way, so having one side do it is kind of defeating the purpose. we're in support, strong support.
Mr. Chair and members, Caitlin Vega for the California Labor Federation, also here in support. I just add, in standard collective bargaining, the parties are trading back proposals back and forth at the bargaining table. They tend to not be that detailed and not be that specific. And so when you get to the point where one party is ready to impose, where they decide that they've reached impasse, it can be that the workers really have no understanding of what is in that final offer and how it's going to affect their lives. And there can be very dramatic changes in their working conditions. And so this bill simply allows them the time to evaluate what is in that offer, what their new working conditions are going to be, and to make adjustments, whether it's childcare changes because they have different hours or whatever other things they need to do to prepare themselves for these new conditions that they're going to be required to work under. So we're here in strong support. Thank you.
Michelle Cass with the Service Employees International Union, also in support. Thank you.
Andrew York on behalf of FAC, also in strong support.
Thank you. Any others in support? Anyone against the measure, please step forward. Any questions or comments from members? Would you like to close on your bill, Mr. Rendon?
Yes, sir. Members, this is, if we are going to have processes and procedures, we ought to have processes and procedures that are meaningful. AB 1550 simply extends the time to appoint a mediator. It provides 30 days to provide all details of a last best final offer, provides 30 days to provide date of implementation of the last best and final, and prohibits unilaterally adding or removing language from a collective bargaining agreement. It's simply an effort to assure fairness in California's schools. And I respectfully urge your vote.
Thank you, Mr. Rendon. We have a motion and a second. The motion is due pass to appropriations. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Bonta.
Aye.
Bonta, aye. Allen. No. Allen, no. Harkey. Jones Sawyer. Aye. Jones Sawyer, aye. Rendon.
Aye.
Rendon, aye. Ridley Thomas. Aye. Ridley Thomas, aye. Wykowski. Aye. Wykowski, aye.
Your bill is out.
Your bill is out, Mr. Rendon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Just one item, right?
Yeah, just
We'll take up the consent calendar next. That's agenda item 5. AB 2472 is on the consent calendar. We can entertain.
I'll move the consent calendar.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second.